We are at Radio Row, Super Bowl 46, and a gentleman who's going to be calling the game, Chris Collinsworth, has just stepped up. Hello, Chris.
What's happening, guys? How are you?
Hey, we're doing good. Deuce is with us. Say hi to Deuce.
Deuce, what's up, brother?
Howdy, man. This is your second one now, isn't it?
Yeah, I've played in two. This is the second one. I've actually done the play-by-play. I've done a lot of pre-game shows. So
it all ties in with Deuce.
Deuce. It all,
see how it all works?
It's unbelievable. All about you, brother.
No, we've only got a few minutes with you. Now, tell me how a coach like Bill Belichick can change from being a defensive genius to all of a sudden creating this offensive output on a football team. And if we look at it, he's been in 2 Super Bowls now with the offensive attitude, and he hasn't won one. Can he win one with this kind of offense?
Of course, you know, I mean, they've beaten a lot of teams, and I really think that this game is probably about as evenly matched as any that I can remember. I remember somebody told me that the Patriots were favored in the game, and I was like, really? You know, based on, I guess, their regular season record, but traditionally when, you know, one team, in this case the Giants, goes to New England and beats them there, and they did it without 4 offensive starters, you would think, okay, well, maybe that team deserves to be the favorite. So I don't know that. I was just surprised. I really thought when somebody asked me after the championship games, who do you think would be favored? I said, I almost can guarantee you this will either be even or 1 point either way. And then they were 3 points. I was like, really?
Yeah, and it opened up 3.5, came down to 3 points.
Yeah, we'll be
now,
back.
the Giants are getting hot at the right time again, but this is not the 07 team. This is a different team.
It is, but it isn't. You know, I mean, this is a team that's built around their pass rush. And as we know from watching Green Mathis in this stadium, this is a fast track. This is one that Tom Brady has taken a lot of shots in over the course of time in this stadium. And it's really going to be the key to the game when these two teams played for the first time. There were a lot of protection schemes put up there by Belichick.
Sure.
You know, they were tight ends and tight protections and running backs, and they didn't want Tom Brady to get hit. Well, the game was nothing to nothing at halftime. And so, and then in the second half, they got behind, they had to open it up, and all of a sudden started scoring points.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
So it's real interesting. You know, I don't know that they can block the Giants on a permanent sort of basis throughout the course of the game. But Tom Brady is probably the best that there is in getting that ball out of his hands. So maybe they say, the heck, let's just open it up, let's blank out our receivers, let's throw it around, and Tom, you're on your own, baby. Go out there and get rid of that ball.
Chris Collinsworth is our guest, and Deuce, we're here in Indianapolis.
I got to ask him, because I know you got things to do. Before we get out of here, we're here in Indianapolis. We are local boys here. Got to ask you your opinion about the state of the Colts, what's going on, and of course the new hires, the offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator. I myself am very excited about the guys from Pittsburgh as well as Pagano from Baltimore.
Well, it's going to have a very Pittsburgh Steelerish, Baltimore Ravenish kind of feel to it, which is...
That's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing, but it's going to be a very different thing for Colts fans. And I think the closest thing that I could equate it to is what's going on with the 49ers. You know, the 49ers forever and a day were all about Joe Montana, Steve Young, scoring all those points, Bill Walsh, Jerry Rice up and down the field. And now they're a defensive-oriented team. And it may well be that as this thing progresses, depending on what happens with the quarterback situation, if you're developing a young, you know, Andrew Luck kind of thing, and making that transition, that might be who the Colts become, which are going to be a little transition for the Colts fans that used to go on zip, zip, zip up and down the field.
Well, that's a good point, because how do you think that's going to affect Freeney and Mathis, and if they go to this 3-4 defense, they're kind of acting like they're going to go to the coaching staff?
Let me tell you something. Great players are great players. Those two guys can rush the passer if you put them in a skirt, you know, and just send them out there on Sunday after church. You know, I mean, it just they are great players, and if you build a team around those guys and you stand them up like the Houston Texans did this year, Mario Williams, you know, they had, oh my gosh, you're going to stand him up, make him a 34 outside linebacker. He was killing people before he got
Yes,
hurt.
he was.
So if you can rush the passer, you can rush the passer, and those two guys are going to be great.
Chris Collinsworth, tell us quickly, you're involved with the FedEx Aaron Brown Players of the Year Awards.
Yeah, and you can vote at NFL.com/FedEx, and this is one time we no hanging chads. You're allowed to stuff the ballot box, and if your guy wins, then we're going to donate $25,000 in their name to junior achievement in the local area. So it's running back in. So vote, it's great for the kids, and I'm proud to be a part of it.
Chris Collinsworth, we can't wait for Super Bowl Sunday on NBC.
Good to see you guys.
Thanks for your time.
Tell Bob and Tom and all the boys I said hello, will you?